Hold up before you order that 2024 Chrysler Pacifica. Current owners have a lot to say about their experiences. Here are 8 eye-opening reasons why they suggest you might want to shop around for a different family van. Number 1. Unreliable transmission. The Pacifica's 9-speed automatic transmission usually does the job, but it's not without its quirks. On steep hills, it can get mixed up, picking a gear too high or too low for the situation. And if you're using adaptive cruise control, slowing down might come with some alarming noises, like screeching and grinding, that make you think the transmission's about to give out. But that's not all. Some folks have had issues with the transmission jerking around, refusing to shift gears, or hitting them too hard. These problems are well known, but Chrysler doesn't seem to have a handle on fixing them. It's no surprise then that the Pacifica often feels more like you're driving a lumber truck. There's also been cases where the transmission completely fails. The car locks itself in park, won't budge, the brakes jam up, and you can't shift gears or even turn the steering wheel. What's really troubling is how fast these issues pop up. There are Pacificas with just 42,000 miles still under warranty facing these transmission failures. One owner reported that in 130 weeks of owning their Pacifica, it spent 7 weeks in the shop. That's a lot of downtime for a pretty new car, don't you think? Number 2. Battery and charging issues. Many owners of the 2022 or 2023 Pacifica Hybrid have raised multiple concerns regarding its battery pack and hybrid system. Given that no significant updates have been announced, the 2024 Pacifica Hybrid is likely to be essentially identical to its predecessors from 2 or 3 years ago, suggesting that these problems are still there. So let's delve deeper into the specifics. The Pacifica Hybrid features a 3.6-liter V6 engine coupled with 2 electric motors and a 16 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery, delivering a total output of 260 horsepower. Despite this setup, the Pacifica's 0 to 60 acceleration time is a modest 7.8 seconds, and it lacks an all-wheel drive option, being available only in front-wheel drive. So, performance-wise, the hybrid's power and braking are considered average for its category. And that is not all, because a lot of Pacifica Hybrid owners have reported a lot of reliability issues with the hybrid system. There are instances of battery failure and engine stalling every few miles. These owners would have to pull over on the side of the road, wait a few minutes, restart the engine, go another 20 miles, and then repeat so they could get home safe. We're talking about cars that are under warranty here. And despite being serviced, the issues resurfaced 4 to 5 months later, and the service centers appeared to be at a loss for solutions. Moreover, several other owners reported problems with the charging system within months of purchase. Dealerships were often ill-equipped and unable to address these issues, leaving the owners desperate and without a car. Apparently, Chrysler issued multiple recalls for the Pacifica Hybrid's battery pack due to fire risk. The affected owners were instructed to avoid parking their cars near buildings and to only drive them in non-hybrid mode until the battery was charged. To make things even worse, Chrysler didn't keep the owners in the loop about how long they'd have to wait for the battery replacement. Some owners reported waiting for as long as 8 months. In some other cases, the vehicle's computer detected a fault with the hybrid battery, causing the car to shut down unexpectedly. Frustrations peaked for another owner who, facing long service wait times and a completely depleted battery, opted to replace the batteries at their own expense after just 7,000 miles. In addition to the battery issues, the Pacifica's got some trouble with its gas tank sensor. It's been giving false readings, showing the tank is full when it's not. And there's also been cases of fuel spitting back out during fill-ups and the gas tank button acting up. Dealerships seem to be scratching their heads on how to fix these problems effectively to this day. Number 3. Faulty entertainment system. The Pacifica's Uconnect infotainment system is supposed to be a highlight, with its user-friendliness, great features, and smooth smartphone pairing. In reality, though, it's a mixed bag. It's got a big touchscreen with sharp graphics, and it's quick to react to touch and voice commands. You get Bluetooth, wireless Android Auto, and Apple CarPlay connectivity. There are plenty of USB ports for everyone's gadgets, and you can even pair it with Alexa and the Uconnect app to control some van functions from your phone. Sounds great, right? But owners tell a different story. First off, there's the problem with Android Auto not switching to dark mode, which proves a real headache when driving at night. But it's only the tip of the iceberg. The Bluetooth connection is temperamental, to say the least, dropping out unexpectedly and needing a manual reconnect. If you link up 2 phones, the system might freeze, forcing you to disconnect both to sort it out. Then there are the USB ports that sometimes won't charge devices or get fussy if you move the cable a bit. Owners have also reported the radio switching stations on its own and Android Auto being unreliable, which is a real pain in busy city driving. One owner even said their Android Auto and Apple CarPlay would pick a totally different state to navigate to, despite entering the right address in the Waze Waze navigation app. Online forums are full of Pacifica owners frustrated with their entertainment systems. And the worst part, dealers keep saying they can't fix it because it's a Chrysler software problem. Number 4, unreliable cruise control. The Pacifica comes loaded with a bunch of driver aids like forward collision warning, pedestrian detection, and adaptive cruise control that's supposed to handle stop-and-go traffic. It's also got lane keeping assist and an optional 360-degree camera. But a lot of owners aren't happy with how these features actually perform, especially the cruise control. It's pretty jerky and not too reliable. Drivers find they can't trust it not to speed up towards the car ahead, so they end up keeping a foot on the brake, just in case. Even when the cruise control does work, it tends to speed up and slow down instead of maintaining a steady speed. The screen you use to activate it is slow to respond, which can be frustrating. And for some reason, there are 2 different buttons for turning on cruise control, one for the regular kind and another for the adaptive kind, which doesn't really make much sense, does it? Number 5, poor customer support. What's even more worrying than the issues presented so far is the poor customer support and lack of technical expertise of the Chrysler dealer shops in the country. It seems like they have no idea how to fix all these issues on their cars. The forums are full of stories from owners who can't get their Pacificas fixed, even under warranty, because the service centers are clueless. One guy mentioned his Pacifica, with only 24,000 miles on it, would stall in the middle of the road, and even Chrysler's engineers couldn't pinpoint the problem. Take another owner who tried to get a service appointment for a battery failure and engine stalling issue while the car was still under full warranty. First available appointment was a month away. 4 months after they supposedly fixed it, the same issue popped up. The owner had to wait another month to get a second service appointment, and they had no solution for his issue. There's also this one case of a Pacifica with a busted transmission that spent 51 days in the shop. Imagine that, over a month and a half without your fairly new car, shelling out for rentals or taxis to get the kids to school. And when Chrysler does try to make up for the hassle, it's a whole other headache. One owner was offered $50 a day for a rental, but the only place Chrysler approved was charging $70 a day for the cheapest car. Another owner was promised a $250 gift card for an 8-month wait on a hybrid system recall due to fire risk, but the card never showed up. When they called about it, they were told it was a system glitch and left hanging without a timeline. Beyond the lack of skilled service teams, the communication is a mess. Some owners didn't even know their Pacifica's battery pack was a fire hazard and that they shouldn't use hybrid mode until their battery pack was changed. Number 6, poor fuel efficiency. The EPA's fuel economy rating for the all-wheel drive Pacifica isn't great, standing at 20 miles per gallon combined, 17 miles per gallon in the city and 25 on the highway. It's true, we are talking about a 287 horsepower 3.6-liter V6 engine here, but still, that fuel efficiency is on the lower end compared to others in this category. For example, the all-wheel drive Toyota Sienna has an EPA combined rating of 35 miles per gallon. The V6 Kia Carnival has a 22 miles per gallon combined, but in some real-world tests, it exceeded EPA's estimates to a whopping 26.2 miles per gallon combined. While in the Chrysler Pacifica, owners have reported getting even less than 18 miles per gallon on average for 500 miles of mixed driving. The front-wheel drive versions of the Pacifica fare a bit better in fuel efficiency, managing 22 miles per gallon combined, 19 in the city and 28 on the highway. But given all those hybrid system issues, it's a risky bet. And it's not only gas mileage that's bad. The engine itself is shown to be both thirsty and problematic. Owners have encountered issues with the head gasket, camshaft, and cylinders, typically starting to crop up between 50 and 70,000 miles. There are owners who had to replace the engines just right after the warranty had expired, and that's a real headache. Number 7, rough ride and flimsy steering. The Pacifica provides a decent ride on various road conditions, but it doesn't particularly stand out in this aspect either. Its steering feels somewhat weak, and there's a noticeable body roll during sharp turns. In comparison, both the Toyota Sienna and the Honda Odyssey seem to offer a more satisfying driving experience. The suspension system also leaves much to be desired. It struggles with even minor bumps and potholes, causing discomfort not just for the driver, but for the passengers too, who often report excessive bouncing in the rear seats. Braking performance is another area where the Pacifica falls short. Owners have noted a persistent vibration in the brake pedal after about 7,000 miles. Number 8, poor interior quality and ergonomics. The Pacifica's interior quality and comfort are a bit of a mixed bag, making it another reason to think twice about this vehicle. The front seats are comfortable enough for long drives, and they come with heating and ventilation. The third row seating is also fairly comfortable. However, the vehicle suffers from excessive road noise, and in the hybrid version, the transmission noise is particularly annoying. especially when downshifting. Additionally, there's an irritating rattle in the dashboard, and owners have reported issues with the rear hatch slamming shut due to failing rear door struts. On the plus side, the overall controls are user-friendly, but the center console design is a bit impractical. The rotary gear switch is placed too close to the volume knob, which can lead to some confusion. There are other reported issues too. The rear passenger sliding doors often fail to close properly, requiring intervention from the front seat or someone outside. The driver's side window tends to fog up from the air conditioner, making it hard to see out on humid days. Some owners have also faced a problem with the front doors sagging and needing realignment just weeks after purchase. A notable design flaw is the lack of a height adjustment for the rear liftgate, posing a problem for garages with lower ceilings, as it can hit the roof when open.